find out right now who it is. Starting to the bottom left of the map in blue, we have the MVP Protoss player. Today he didn't play.
MVP Super.
That was so bad. I apologize.
That's one of those vampire jokes, man.
Yeah.
I want to just rub garlic on it.
Top right of the map, we have his opponent. It is in red.
SK Telecom T1, ParalyzE.
I just want to take that joke and put it out in the sun.
Oh, someone save me.
And every time that intro is say hello to the robots, I want to take my iPad and just open up Siri and say hello and see how Siri responds. I never said hello to Siri before. I don't really treat robots very well. When I talk to Siri or my Google Now, I don't really speak politely. I just get straight to the point.
You know what actually like blew me away? Like that was some of the things where I couldn't believe what I was reading. After the first day of the Up and Downs, I browsed through the forums and just checked what people were saying about the matches. And you know when we first heard that song and it was introducing like say hello to the robots and we said like okay robot number 1 to the upper left and blah blah. Yeah. One of the guys was actually a comment was like, oh my god, they are so racist. I mean, you can't just call Korean robots. It's not like they are all the same or anything like it. And I just read that comment and I just facepalmed for 10 minutes. It was like, oh my god, hitting my head at the wall. I was like, I didn't really read that, did I?
I'm sure some people quoted him and told him what was really going on.
That was the scary thing. That actually didn't happen.
Right now he's listening. He's like,
oh, they have a name, you know? I know they play all very good and Koreans are strong in this game, but this is just taking it one step too far.
They both have, in this game, by the way, double gas. And they didn't take it at the exact same time, but as you can see, the difference is Super has 4 gas out of his opponent. So the way they went for it with a later gas with 3 and 3 and an earlier gas with 2 and 2, their gas evens out very, very well here at, now the 330 mark.
Both of them actually going into the double gateway here. So 2 gateways out early in the game, and that's something we've seen very different builds, especially the last time that we had those PvPs coming at us when Killer was playing in that group with 3 Protoss players, where also Creator was of course playing very good Protoss player or PvP player in Rings of Liberty. Didn't do so well in Heart of the Swarm just yet, but very aggressive strategy here with the double gateway. And one of those games that was really interesting to see in the last few days was when we had this. Who was it again? Oh, it was when Avenge was playing against. Who did he play against? What was that game where we had a double, a 3 Stargate opening against double gates, and he actually he won it with 2 gates against 3.
Yeah,
Avenge lost the game.
It was against.
All these games just blending together right now.
It was incredible.
Yeah,
the hold.
It was really good. It was a really, really amazing hold. But that was just so interesting to see. But now we have both of them going into the double gate, which gives them, of course, a bit more potential. First of all, to defend and then also to be aggressive if they just scout something in their opponent's base.
I hope ParalyzE goes Stargate also, man. How awesome would it be if we both have Stargate? It'd be like watching Genius's Code qualifiers run, which was epic to watch. You and I, he actually lost to ParalyzE, in fact, in a PvP. Yeah. It was that same player.
That PvP was insane. That went on for like 50, 60 minutes, something like that. It was like insanity. But we have not the Stargate versus Stargate tech. We have actually the expansion here for ParalyzE right now. Super is going through with a Stargate though.
Yep. This Stalker is some rescue Stalkers coming to help him out. It's an Oracle opening. And Oracles can really do a lot of damage in PvP because Stalkers fire so slowly. What you can oftentimes do is come in, even if there's Stalkers there, kill 2 probes and then leave. If you don't have all of your Stalkers in the mineral line, probes are going to die and the Oracle will still get away.
There's still the expansion now for Super, so it's not like he's going to go all in with this and just trying to ban one huge attack. We have also the 2 robotics going down at roughly the same time. The one thing that is really a bit of a problem, or could be later on, is the forward pile that we have to the left. First of all, a bit of aggression going on there, and he might lose a Stalker here.
Oh, but surprised he doesn't use his force fields. There he goes. Whoa, a huge mistake by Super.
Oh, wow.
No.
He gets 2. He gets 2 Stalkers. Oh, does he?
He should.
Oh, that was a close one. Oh, the
Oracle distracting him quite a bit here.
Yeah, that was taking down a lot of kills already. 4 so far, 5, trying to get another one, but has to back off first.
One more shot?
No, doesn't get
it. That's what I'm talking about. Even if there's Stalkers there, you need more than 2, and the Oracle's still going to do damage and get away.
Keep in mind that ParalyzE had the Nexus earlier, so he can go into the double probe production faster and just keep that probe count very on the same level again. And great scout here, of course, for Super. He sees the pylon, can take... Well, he should, yeah, there we go.
It's always very common to hide a pylon here, so I like this choice by Super to go check for it. The Oracle going to walk right into a trap. He brings 2 Zealots here just in case there's a warp in to save the pylon.
Yeah.
That one Zealot just wants a piece of the action, but I guess he'll have to save it for later.
You know, the Oracle is still alive, and in the main base, yes, we have 2 Stalkers, but just think about what's going on when at some point there is an attack, Super going in, ParalyzE, pulling that back, pulling all those units back, especially the ones in the mineral line, and Super just decides to park that Oracle on top of the mineral line. That could do so much. So this constant threat that you are facing, that really does a number on you over time. You always want to know where that goes on. Oh, you can actually go for
you could reveal
the Envision.
Yeah, the Envision ability.
But yeah, I don't think you did really see it.
Yeah, the Oracle was spotted though, so now ParalyzE knows that he doesn't have a direct threat anymore.
Yep.
He's actually positioned Stalkers after seeing this down to the bottom right to catch the Oracle as it tries to go for the mineral line. This is really cute.
Harvester count is in favor of Super still. Roughly 5. And he takes the Oracle down with the last shot. That shot was like a Seeker missile. Trying to hunt it down.
We have a relatively even game at this point. Even the Forge upgrades here not too far off with a slight lead for ParalyzE.
Yeah, ParalyzE has to win the game. If he wins it, then he will advance together with Curious, who is already in the next season of the WCS Korean Premier League. But if Super takes it, then Effort will advance. So Effort is really watching this game right now, and he probably talked to Super earlier and was like, dude, listen, if you win the next game, I'm gonna take you out, I promise. Whatever you want.
No. Right now, that Observer is being tailed. I'm a little bit surprised we don't see a Void Ray or 2 for ParalyzE. I mean, for Super, that is, since he has the Stargate, and Void Rays do so much damage to anything that has armor. Almost anything that lives, but especially things that live that have armor. Or even things that don't live that have armor, that fight. Like an Immortal, for example.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Talking about Immortals.
Well, actually, Immortals do live, but Colossi do not.
Double Robo here, the second one coming in now, so that he can produce it a little bit faster. And we have him going into the Colossi tech. He is a bit behind in that. The first Colossus is already being built here for his opponent, for Super to the bottom left of the map. But with an earlier Double Robo, he can catch up really fast.
Yeah. There it is.
Now coming in now also for Super. Both of them dropping that just shortly after they went into the third base.
This is one of those games, not to cut you off there, this is one of those games that will probably be decided by micro and positioning more than anything else. PvP can be this way. In Heartless Swarm, much less often than it was in Wings of Liberty.
Yeah, those PvPs that we casted so far were actually like really short. Most of them were like very quick to the action, going in with a build. I think the only one that was a little bit longer was when Killer faced Jungbi.
Yeah. That was a pretty sick decision-making we saw from John.
Those hallucinations really won him the game against that Tempest composition that Killer had.
Speaking of Tempest, there's a Fleet Beacon on the way.
Yeah, and with the Fleet Beacon, he can
He could make one carrier, just like I was talking about yesterday.
Yeah. Going here into the Tempest would really help him against his opponent's units. All about position, of course, once again, especially those Tempests. They are a little bit faster than Queens, but not a lot.
Yeah, and this is one thing that Super can do that ParalyzE can't, because he doesn't have a Stargate, so for him to make the transition, it's a little less comfortable. He's going to have to spend a lot more gas.
A Zerg's Nightmare would be a Tempest that flies as fast as Phoenix.
Or even faster than Phoenix.
That would be everyone's Nightmare, actually.
Oh, how annoying would that be?
You can never catch them. They can attack you from wherever you are, and you have to back them into the corner of the map.
Take kiting to the next level. It's like putting a kite in a hurricane.
That would be a sick map for the arcade right there.
That one probe was sitting over idle like he wanted to make a Stargate, but he actually makes a Temple Archives now instead.
So here we have the Tempest now coming into the play. And with the Tempest that we see for Super, it's all going to be about how he can focus here and how ParalyzE is going to play this. And it's actually like a smart move to go into a fourth base if you play the Tempest game. Because, as mentioned, they are pretty slow. It's not like you're going to like fly around the map and pick off a couple of
You're not going to hit a sick
there.
timing with the Tempest.
Yeah, it's like if you actually sit back and you get that fourth base, you kind of force your opponent to either also take a fourth or attack into you. And
Look at
attack
this.
into it, that is exactly what he wants.
This is what ParalyzE wants. He wants to attack into this apparently, as he's adding now 8 gateways that will put him in total up to 10, because he only has 2 gateways as it is right now. But that's still a lot of gateways. He will have charge, and he's got Colossi to back this up. He's going to have +2 a little bit earlier.
Yeah, he has the Templar Archive. We will see Archons for him. And let's see how this is actually going to do right now. With the Tempest in play, he doesn't have too many just yet. There's one, the second one on the way right now. Double Immortals are also being built in those robos that he has. But also, ParalyzE not too eager to attack just yet.
Could take a page out of Jongbi's book and hallucinate some Colossi.
Yeah, he could. He saw the Tempest. I think you've seen them. He has an observer there.
Yeah,
so
he definitely has. I think that's part of the reason why he's going for this, because he knows for himself the transition also into Tempest would take way too long since he doesn't have a Stargate. And here's the Jongbi move.
Here are those additional hallucinated Colossi, and now this is going to be an interesting match. 6 against 4 Colossi in favor of Super at this point. He has the additional Immortals. Here comes ParalyzE moving down that ramp, trying to hit that 4th, and those Tempests are already active.
Tempests do so much damage to Colossi, but he has to make sure he hits the right ones.
And here we go, most of those Archons are already gone, and most of those Colossi a little bit late to the party. On the side, we have a couple of Immortals moving in and taking those few Colossi down immediately. The supply for ParalyzE is dropping like crazy, and look at those Colossi numbers.
He just does not have enough. The fake Colossi don't actually do damage. The Tempest escapes somehow. It's one more shot off there.
God knows how that happened. Those Tempests are usually just sitting ducks, but that did not really occur in this fight. Suddenly it is ParalyzE who's on the run, and he is 60 supply down. Effort is clapping his hands right now. He's jumping up and down.
Yeah, Super wants to end it here. He wants to go for the counterattack that will end the game. Only Zealots coming out right now for ParalyzE. He's trying to figure out exactly how he transitions. He's desperately making more Colossi, but it's not enough. The upgrades are even. More Tempests being rallied out here.
Are 2 Zergs going to advance today, or will at least one Protoss be able to get into the next season of the WCS Korean Premier League? It looks like it's going to be 2 Zergs. Super, he has no sympathies here for his Protoss brother. He is taking him on. Those Tempests from behind are getting their shots off. The Time Warp helping a lot here. The massive amount of, Colossi, it's enough. GG!
It's going to be the Zergs.
At least he takes the game here, but it is the Zerg plays that advance today. Effort is being quite happy. And he is one sad panda. He started with a 2-0 into the group.
This goes to show that a good start is not always leading to a good finish.
Yeah. Super helping Effort to advance together with Curious.
Well, 2 Zergs advance, and, Zerg dominance in Codes, occurred last season. The Zerg player did win, but it was mostly Zergs making it towards the end as we had the last season. And this just pushes further and further more Zergs up into the OSL. Not to say that necessarily they're going to win the championship or anything, but it increases the Zerg count quite significantly.
Oh yeah, it does it actually increase right now? I know that we had a lot of Zergs coming from Wings of Liberty into the first half of the Swarm season, which is why we had a huge surplus in Zerg players. But I
don't know if it's a net increase.
I think Protoss is a little bit lacking right now, but I think Zerg and Terran are nearly balanced with it.
Yeah, well, when I say increase, I just mean increase considering the ones have already fallen out and putting them back in.
So, match results, of course, once again today to give you a bit of an idea who's advancing. If you haven't caught up on that just yet, Curious and Effort, they are the 2 players that will advance, the 2 Zergs in the group. Effort having a little bit of support here by Super, who took out ParalyzE in the most important game. The 2 Protoss players facing off against each other, and ParalyzE not winning it resulted in Effort advancing instead of ParalyzE himself.
Yeah. Björn having a really, really rough day, going 1-3. He did end up getting the 1 win there at the end, so at least he doesn't go 0-4 like SC did. But he and Marine King, both 2 Terran players, not able to advance from the Prime team into the OSL.
Maru, the only one.
Yes.
Maru, the only one who is now in next season. Oh yeah, 14 in total. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Terran is actually lagging. I thought we had a few more Terrans in there. I'm actually really surprised by that. I thought the last time that we saw there was like 11.
We had some Terran players in the up and downs do really poorly, like Marine King, like SC, like Björn.
I mean, the thing about Terrans is, I heard that Innovation and Flash count twice, so suddenly you're up to 10. That's
Some people say that about Fantasy and Bomber as well.
Oh wow, actually we have way too many Terran players in the next season. Kidding aside, guys, Zerg players is still with a huge chunk here.
And this is our final roster. These are the final 32 players there that will be in the OSL. So take a screenshot of that. Those are your OSL players for the next season.
And once more, just tomorrow we will be back with more Starcraft 2 action for you guys here at the GSL. The WCS Season 1 Finals are happening here in Korea.
Starting at 10 a.m. So, you know, there's a lot of different time zones. I know it's like 3 o'clock in the morning in Europe, but that is 10 hours earlier than you would see normally the StarCraft matches.
And
here.
you know, usually we would like try to go through all of the time zones right now, embarrass ourselves in front of the camera, in front of you. Today we're a little bit lazy. Blizzard put out an amazing map for WCS.
Yeah, they weren't lazy about that.
Yeah, they weren't. A little bit late maybe, but not lazy. WCS.battle.net. Check that out, and on that page you can actually check out for all the time zones when exactly the finals are going to happen.
Also, on your mobile phone and your tablet, there's a mobile version. You can also look at it in Korean if you like.
Mobile versions are actually really good of the page, so check it out. WCS.battle.net. We are starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow in Korean Standard Time, which is, by the way, and I'm sure of that for the Europeans, 3 a.m. in the morning. So this time it's actually the Europeans that have to wake up quite early.
Yeah, I saw a lot of complainers, and I'm like, you know what, I used to live in NA and watch the GSL at 3 o'clock in the morning myself.
Hey, every single time there's a tournament in Europe, I have to wake up at like 2 a.m. or at like 1 a.m. and then
after you cast all day, you're like really tired, but you still do it.
All-nighter to watch all of the games, so you can do it
First world problems over there in Europe, I heard.
Yeah. And then VODs will, of course, also be up. Check out GOMTV.net. We will be back tomorrow for you. Make sure to tune in. This was it for the day. The last 2 players advancing to the next season of the WCS Korean Premier League are Effort and Curious. We're done for the day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
Trying to kick in my sister, she doing fine, and I'm making my way through life, no longer blinded. Wait, a minor setback, this supposed to be friend of mine. Emptied the clip on me one night when a friendly fight turned personal. Guess he wasn't my friend after all. After a brawl, hit me 3 times.